I have autism. Let's hear it for autism. I do say retard. I think that it's my word. I have a doctor's note, I don't know. What are you gonna do? You gonna beat me up? Good luck. I'm one of the strong ones. The first thing I did after I got diagnosed, I gave all my friends the R-word pass. I was like, you can say it. It's chill. Because I share my word. Yeah, some people don't share their word. Some people are real stingy with their word. Yeah, I don't want to point any fingers. Or fingers, but... Okay, all right.
Welcome to the Marinade, a free-flowing conversation about the creative process with creative people. Each episode we welcome musicians, actors, comedians, authors, visual artists, filmmakers, anyone who creates art to talk about how and why we make stuff. This is episode 191, and our guest is Preston Canavan. Preston is a comedian from Winter Park, Florida, who's one of my favorites doing it right now. I have the pleasure of getting to see him perform at my favorite third space in the world, Barley and Vine Biergarten, which is just steps away from my home here in Orlando. Every time I've seen Preston perform, he has left me doubled over laughing. This conversation was no exception. Y'all, before we get to it, I'm sometimes a dum-dum. I'm learning how to use the fancy new equipment gifted to us by our wonderful Patreon patron, Seth Gill, and I didn't record the first conversation I had with Preston. He came over on a Thursday, we caught lightning in a bottle, and it unfortunately only exists as a cell phone video. But have no fear, dear listener. First, I published the video in its entirety, bloopers and all, on our Patreon. Patreon.com/Marinade Podcast. You can watch that by subscribing for just $2 a month, or you can pay for it a la carte for just $5. I promise it's worth the watch. Second, Preston, being the sweetheart he is, agreed to come over a second time, and we had another incredible conversation, which you're about to hear. I know I say this is one of my favorites of all time, all the time, but this is one of my all-time favorites. Preston is a bright light, and I'm so grateful for the time and energy that he's given me and the Marinade. Everyone, it is my honor to bring you my conversation with Preston Canavan.
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I think we sound all right.
What of it?
All right.
I just bit all my nails off today.
Red means record.
Hell yeah.
Cool, we'll talk about that too.
Ooh. Sure. What a hashtag tweet.
We try to take care of our guests here.
Hell yeah. I feel taken care of.
Good.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, kid.
Buddy, thank you so much for your patience, everybody. This is round 2. You just didn't know that.
I'm excited about it. Literally anytime. Like, I'll be back tomorrow.
We had so much fun the other day, but my dumbass doesn't know how to use technology, so...
It's a new piece of equipment, and apparently it's weird.
Apparently it's weird. It looks so simple and sleek.
Sleek is a great word for it.
Right?
Yeah.
And ain't it clunky?
And ain't it clunky? Yeah. Yeah. That's silly. No, I guess so. I don't know. Yeah. What is this? Is this a Roadcaster though? Is that what that is?
That's a Roadcaster.
I keep hearing that's the thing for podcasts.
It's the thing for podcasts.
Word.
Piece of fucking junk.
Piece of fucking junk.
Yeah, I know it's user error, I'm sure. I mean, everybody uses one, and I can't figure it out.
There's got to be a way for it.
I know. It just doesn't make sense. Like,
no.
Made a mistake yesterday, made a mistake today. You're not dealing with amateurs here, everybody.
It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve.
Speaking of which, let's talk about learning. Let's talk about your learning experience. I find your life story fascinating. I've been reflecting on it. And I find, I want to say at the outset to folks listening, and I've said to you, and I'll continue to say to you that you are so fucking funny.
Oh my God.
And you continue to crack me up both on stage and in person. And I'm just really grateful that I got a chance to get acquainted with your comedy, but also that I'm getting to know you because I'm really enjoying getting to know you as a person. So
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
yeah, thank you. If you could tell the folks to start out, just sort of, where you come from, like what your early years were like, and then we'll kind of start to get into the creative process.
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Orlando. I'm 25 now, but for a long time I wasn't 25. For like 24 years, I was some other age. And
I was gonna say you're very young. Have you always been young?
I've been young so far the entire time. If this is still young, then yeah, the whole time I've been young.
Yeah.
It's solid. I don't know. I think that Orlando's a nice spot to do all these creative things in because we do have like a nice creative scene, but none of the huge pressure of like a big city. So like if you go out and make a fool of yourself, you're not burning the end all be all bridges.
Mm-hmm.
You're burning some minor league bridges.
AAA at least.
Yeah. But I dropped out of high school when I was 15 and I got my GED, and then I tried making money with music and couldn't really swing that and had a bunch of odd jobs and wound up doing comedy and social media marketing as a day job, and that seems to be working out pretty nice so far.
Oh, what's the matter? Oh, goodness. Production assistants already sleeping on the job, licking balls.
So sleepy, so ball licky.
Hey, bud, leave it.
Me in the club. This is so sweet.
We got Nonsense and Conundrum here, as always. Okay, so
Adorable.
I know she's just the cutest thing you've ever seen. It's like hard to do anything around her because you just want to stare at her.
She's perfect.
Yeah, she is perfect.
Oh.
Okay, so could you talk a little bit about, and this is always fascinating for me. So my day job is as a teacher, right? A public school teacher. I've taught everything from 5th through 12th grade. So I've taught high schoolers. I've talked a lot of high schoolers out of dropping out. I have been unsuccessful at talking high schoolers out of dropping out.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about like that decision in that moment and how you came to it?
I kept going through, like, there were, like, 2 breakups that year that I had that really messed me up in terms of, like, social status. Like, I couldn't be friends with the people I was friends with, and I was starting to sort of realize that the people I was friends with weren't really my friends to begin with. I had been with a friend group since, like, elementary school where my best friend was this guy named Ben, and our parents had different political views. And my mom sent out my mom's Republican. She sent out like a libtard email, like a roasty email to Ben's parents who are liberals. And then suddenly in 4th grade, I was no longer able to hang out with my best friend. Like his parents blacklisted us. And that was the friend group that I was still hanging out with at school, but now I never had like extracurricular activities with them. So I wasn't able to see them. There was no more sleepovers, no more hanging out. And that friend group sort of like evolved into more people when middle school came. So that's 4th grade, then 5th grade. There's still no friends. 6th grade comes along. Like basically, I'm with the same friend group at lunch, but they all hate me because their parents talk shit about me because my parents are shitty, and also because I'm like struggling to socialize. Like I now am behind developmentally, I guess, and was unable to really maintain friends with these people. And they were like, it was always sort of roasty at lunch. Like I remember just feeling like a black sheep big time there. And this all like slowly snowballed. I started to eventually accumulate other friends, like my friend Gabe, who is still my buddy today. We started our 7th grade at that school. We had every single class except for history together. So we became friends pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But 6th grade was shitty. And then end of 7th grade through 8th grade, I had a girlfriend, and then in 9th grade, we broke up, and then in 10th grade, I got another girlfriend, and then we broke up, and it just became clear to me that like all of the like my first girlfriend, she wasn't in band, but like band was my life, my social life. My second girlfriend was in band, and when we broke up, she was like the drum major. She was a senior, and it just felt like my social stock in the band room. I had no friends. I could not walk into school comfortably or confidently. I couldn't like make eye contact, have a conversation, have friends, maintain who I was. So I was, and on top of that, I just hated school. I had like a big rebellious streak. There was at least one class a year from 7th grade forward that I would intentionally fail just to be a piece of shit. Because I feel like I struggle with certain teachers. Like if I think a teacher is stupid, I won't do anything. But like a lot of teachers I would just idolize and work so hard in their class. And that was always one of the things that I enjoyed about school, was having a teacher that I respected, because I would just like sprint in their class, like academically. Like I would just work as hard as I possibly could to try and impress them. And with teachers that I didn't like, I could care less. So like I finished biology with like a 4%. I would only take the pre-tests. That was I would only do unweighted things. I would follow along in the textbook a chapter ahead, so I would do really well on the pre-tests, but they meant nothing.
Oh
And then
my
I would
God.
straight up refuse to
That's
take the tests.
diabolical.
I hated that teacher. She made herself unlikable to me in the first quarter, and I was like, I'm never lifting a finger in this class again.
That is amazing.
Is it? I look back on that time and I'm like, I don't know what my problem was. I don't really remember other than fuck you, Miss Johnson.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I wonder how much is, because I mean, one of the things that happens with kids is that if you are smarter than the teacher, or feel like you are, or if you're really, really smart and you feel like that intelligence is not being valued, or if the way that your brain works is not being valued and appreciated, kids will shut down real quick.
That was a big thing. I remember the foldables. I remember being like, I don't need this to learn what words mean.
Yeah.
I know what the words mean. Ask me what the words mean. Don't make me get out a glue stick and a pair of scissors and make an asshole out of myself and what a process of learning means. Like, I was so upset about worksheets, workbooks, things like that. Like, I thought there was a better way to do it, and it wasn't being done. And I took it upon myself to make that everybody's problem, but most of all my own problem, because I was doing terrible in school.
Yeah. Yeah. Kids listening, there's probably no kids listening. I hope there are no kids listening.
Yeah.
If you are a kid listening, turn this off.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But also listen to a lot of the lessons that Preston has learned over time.
Self-taught lesson.
Now turn it the fuck off and go read a book.
Yeah, for real. I wonder how different my life would have been if I had finished high school and like applied myself. That was another thing. I didn't feel like I had any like societal scale thoughts. Like I had no interest in finishing high school. I had no interest in going to college. I had no interest in being around people. I was just interested in like playing trumpet. Like my interests were so like, just let me sit and do my thing like by myself. Let me just get good at this, because I'm pointless right now. And I was so aware of the fact that I was pointless. Like I had nothing to offer. So I had to like build up things that I could present, or at least build up like skills so I was of value, so I could join society with some stock, like to just go out and and be an empty husk of a shell of a teenager. Like, sure, potential is something that teenagers have, but in terms of like skills and value, they're like pointless. what am I gonna do, be a waiter forever? Like I had to build something, and I started trying to do that with trumpet, and it like wasn't great. Like I love playing trumpet, but I'm like not a stellar trumpet player. I was for a 10th grader, but I'm still a 10th grader in a lot of ways at trumpet.
Just trumpet?
Yeah, I pushed myself a lot more with piano and bass, especially lately. And I think piano, I'm like starting to get like, I'm happier than I've ever been with my piano playing as of now. But there's always something to work on. And to be a great musician, truly, it's like 10 hours a day for years, decades. And I was starting to really become aware of like, that's what my competition was, people in music school, stuff like that. And it's like, I'm not going to catch up to that.
Yeah.
That's another level of dedication, and also like they have to be dedicated because there's no way out. Like once you go to music school, and to me in my head, like if I was in music school I would excel like that because there's no way out. What are you going to do after music school if not be a musician? You're all in. You got to practice. Go sit in the room. And I was doing a lot of that, but I was doing it with no mentorship and no real direction other than I want to have value in my body. Like I want to be able to provide something so I can have any type of confidence. And I had none of that at school. And I felt like I was wasting my time at school by not building that as fast as I could.
Man, there's an enormous amount of self-awareness, and then also there's a sort of maybe a courage to that too, I would say, right? Like
I was
that takes
very bold.
Yeah. Like,
stupidly bold. Yeah.
Arrogant.
Yeah, arrogant.
Okay, so you make that decision. You make the bold, let's call it. Let's not go arrogant.
It was pretty arrogant, and I had to convince my parents too, and they were looking at me like, "This kid's arrogant." and again, like we said last time, I thought I was going to be Beyonce, but with a trumpet. That's how famous I thought was attainable.
I mean, they are Republicans.
Yeah. So, and they're both artists as well, which is so interesting. Yeah, I got this is part of why I think they endorsed it, because they recognize that like artistic mediums, like if you're going to put the work in, you're going to get the rewards from it. So you're going to get to a place where you're good, and then for them as Republicans, they know once you're good, you can just monetize it.
Oh, that's so fascinating.
I got a lot of encouragement along those lines, yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah, do what you love, the money will follow. That was a big thing.
Man, that is great advice.
Yeah.
And I think so often we are trapped in what society expects of us. I definitely went to law school because everyone expected me to go to law school, right? And
Tremendous to have, though.
Yeah, but terrible reason.
Yeah. But big brain.
I got a big brain now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. And I had a mortgage worth of debt. Thank you, Joe Biden. I don't anymore.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Elections have consequences, bitches.
So true.
One of them is that I'm debt free.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah. My life's way different since that guy got elected.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Even if it was for just a minute. I'll take it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but there is like this societal pressure that I look back on because I mean, I guess I was about your age when I started law school. I was 26 really when I started law school. And I don't regret it now that my debts are paid, but when I had a mortgage's worth of debt and I was paying that every month and it felt like I was never going to be able to pay it off.
So scary.
It's so scary. Like, because we talked about this before, and that the idea of like financial insecurity and how, and I was reflected on our conversation quite a bit. And one of the things that I was thinking about with the financial insecurity thing, because I was sitting, so this ties in. I was sitting at the bar last night at right down the street at Milk House, and there's a regular there that we always just chat. We always chop it up, and he's a roofer. He's like runs he does the sales part,
Nice.
and he kind of makes sure everything works. Project management, and he works his ass off. Like he works all weekend and everything. And I was talking to him. I was like, "Man, you gonna take a day off?" And he goes, "Not until I get $50,000 in the bank." Yeah, and I was like, "That." I mean, it sucks that you have to think that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just thinking about like societal pressure and how much in a capitalist society, how much we are constantly feeling like we don't have enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's exacerbated by the current political and social climate.
Sure.
And the uncertainty that we're facing on a global scale, and then compounded even more by social media. So I'm interested in exploring that, but going back to thinking about you making the decision to do what you love, and the money would follow, and you drop out of school, and then what?
And then I realized I can't. And then I failed. I failed time and time again. And my extraordinary backup system of having parents that did well fucking saved me. They sent me to school to go. I went to Full Sail, though, which is not a traditional college experience. It's a very accelerated program. It's like 22 months long. And every month you take 1 to 3 classes. So they're all 4 weeks long. And it's grueling. There's no breaks.
Yeah, that sounds exhausting.
But all the degree programs are like set in stone. So you just say, I want to do creative writing or music production or entertainment business or whatever. And all your classes are set up. You don't think at all. It's just boom, you start to finish. It's all in there. And I will say the psychology of the like general Full Sail student is very concerning. All of the classes, all of the degree programs, I should say, are like geared towards entertainment. And I think that entertainment as a industry attracts like a level of delusional person like me with a trumpet. Delusional. Just delusion was running my life and calling the shots and making me take huge gambles because I thought my self-worth was something that it wasn't, or like not my self-worth but my worth as a musician, or like I thought that I could get to a place where I would be the shit, right? It was arrogance. Arrogance is very common amongst Full Sail students, and the work is often not there to back it up, or the passion fades, or the program is too tiring. But like I was in class, I went for the creative writing program. I was in class with people who thought they were going to be like novel writers, in classes where we're going about how people don't read books anymore, like publishing and distribution. We would just go through how little money you fucking make being an author, and also how there are 3 authors that make money.
Dude, that's wild, because like most students at Full Sail, for folks who don't know, Full Sail is a for-profit college, and so like, or university, so most folks do take out like mountains of debt.
Yeah, it was about $70,000.
So you're taking out $70,000 to be told you're not going to be able to pay this back.
Terrifying.
It's so scary.
It's
dude.
super duper scary.
Yeah.
And it's like, it really attracts, I can't stress enough, the most unactivated people. I felt so blessed that I could like zoom out and see those people as that, and see that the difference that I could make in my own education would be to do extra work. So I went so hard at Full Sail. I would way overdo projects. And we basically have like a project due every week for 22 months. And it was grueling, but I was really slamming it. And I think that I got way more out of that program than some of my classmates.
Cool.
And that really helped me get the position that I got at the job that I have now, which has, I mean, made me financially solvent. It has saved my life. What a tremendous thing to no longer be in debt, to be able to afford my home and feed myself and all my bills. Crazy.
Yeah.
And now Comedy Money is starting to catch up. I think in the next few months, Comedy Money is going to pass my day job money.
Okay, I want to talk about comedy, but we're skipping over a part of your life where you went through a really tough period. Can you talk about what happened?
Oh, I was a drug addict. The drug addict part. Yeah. I started smoking weed when I was 15, and then it just like slowly ramped up to very heavy use. It was like phases of it, but it got really bad when I was in my like 20s. Like 20, 21, 22 were years where I smoked as much as I possibly could, and they were also years where I had the least support system. So when all of my when all my remaining friends went to college, they're all out of state. I now have no like peers. I was very isolated, and I was just like intentionally living by myself, but on my parents' like properties. Like, so they have a house that they just weren't living at because it was lame in their eyes. They just tore it down, and they're building a new one on that land. But they lived at the beach, and then they had an apartment over my dad's business, and I stayed there, and I would just smoke weed constantly, and I would spend all of the money that I've made like at my measly random jobs to buy more weed. And I got cannabis-induced psychosis, which is when you smoke so much weed that you go like insane. Yeah.
They warned us about this in the 50s.
Yeah, it's real. It done be real. It's a no good.
I've seen the black and white films.
And it's like 1 in 4 people who get cannabis-induced psychosis don't recover from it.
Oh, I thought you were saying 1 in 4 do. I'm sorry.
No.
Jumping ahead of you.
Of the people who do get it, only 75% are normal again.
Whoa.
After medical intervention.
I don't like those
care.
numbers at all.
It's a shocking statistic. That's why in all the places, all those states where weed is legal, the homeless population is through the roof, because it is a mental health issue.
I did not. You were educating me.
It's very upsetting and it's super duper real. But that's just a cause that I hold dear to my heart,
Yeah.
and I don't. I don't
Are you
know.
turning me into a Republican right now, Preston?
Hey, listen, I'm gonna help you out. I know I'm wearing a Kendrick hat, but it may as well say May. You know? No, I don't know. Weed is like a crazy one to me. I never know how to feel about it, and I always like take full responsibility for like myself having a problem. Like I recognize that like I have the addict gene. You know, anything that's remotely good to me, I will just abuse and abuse. Like doom scrolling is such a nightmare. I was doom scrolling today. I had to throw my phone across the room and pick up a book and go read in a hammock. I had to fight for that, and it sucked. I hate reading.
Barely holding on.
Barely holding on. Like, I don't want to read about Bill Murray right now. But yeah, I have nicotine gum in my mouth right now. Like it's anything that's good, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, after I like sobered up from that, I had started a band in that psychosis. I had purchased a bunch of instruments and started trying to teach them myself. I was like, I'm gonna be a bass player, and I just started a band, and I'm the bass player, and I for months can't really handle it.
Yeah.
And then I like once I'm cured of psychosis, I started to like grind bass really hard, and I got decent quickly. And then that band fell apart. I joined another band, and then another band, and then another band, and then I was playing bass a lot and then I begged my parents to send me back to school so I could get to a place where I could have a job that wasn't just, you know, like working with my hands and just like, you know, being a warm body, because those jobs pay the worst.
Well, they're also and I'm grateful for people who do them, and I'm grateful for people who feel comfortable in them. Some people get a lot of satisfaction out of those kinds of jobs.
Absolutely.
And I have a lot of respect for that. My brain does not work that way. Like I just can't. I can't. I could, right? I've worked construction before. I've done those kinds of jobs, but like, I'm so sad the whole time I do it. Like I can't. I just something about it. I feel there's this feeling that I should be doing something different, like the way my brain is wired. And I think that has something to do, even though there are plenty of creative people who are really good at just focusing on sort of rote tasks.
Yeah.
I think there is something to being a creative person where like you kind of need your brain to be activated in a different way. And those rote tasks, you feel like I could be writing right now, but instead I'm doing this rote task. Whereas like if I'm teaching English, I'm like, well, this is a creative pursuit.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel very different about it. I would think that like with what you do with your day job is a creative pursuit. And so it's tapping into that need that you might have.
Yeah.
And that's I'm guessing that's probably what you were feeling, you know, when you're having to do those rote kind of things.
I found dishwashing to be fulfilling. Something about like damaging my body. It was also the first job I had where I was able to pay my bills with it. So it's like I moved in with a girlfriend at 18, and it was an apartment I never would have ever wanted to be at. It was, you know, Winter Park Village, the lofts over Winter Park Village.
Okay.
It was like $1,800 a month. I've never paid a bill in my life.
Yeah.
And she had already lived there, so I had to move in and pay half.
And this is like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money 7 years ago.
I was appalled that it cost that much when
Yeah.
she told me. And her parents were paying for it. She was from Venezuela, so she couldn't even work in this country. Her parents paid for all of it. She was actually at Full Sail at the time, getting her second degree. Her first one was music production. Her second was media communications.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But
Sugar mama.
mm,
No.
not if you can't work in the United States. So I had to pay for half of everything while she only had to focus on going to school. And I was just washing dishes until my hands bled as much as I could, like overtime. And that was rewarding, and it was interesting to me. But I also recognized that I was spending basically everything that I was making. Like I was not financially growing at all. So it was like, at the end of the day, this is forever if I can't change something. And that's what made me want to work in a higher paying position. Like there was no potential for growth. I was trapped.
Yeah.
And that would have killed me.
I didn't anticipate going down this road, but like I think we have a commonality, which is you sound like you're a romantic. Yeah. Like you're a lover boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about him.
Yeah. Yeah, yo.
I like ladies. Yeah. You like them ladies?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if we have anything to talk about there. I'm just noticing a pattern. Like your 20s are very different from my 20s, except for going to the really expensive private school.
Yeah.
And ladies.
Yeah. I've had a pretty serious girlfriend of every phase of my life. You know what I mean?
Me too, yeah. Except this one.
That's what's up, though.
Ladies.
Oh, that's silly.
Okay, so you study creative writing. You really pour yourself into it,
Yeah.
right? And
This was also one of the first times where I was back in a community. So there's something about the competitiveness that really unlocks work ethic.
because you had such a solitary time, you go through the psychosis, you start a cult or try to,
Yeah.
which we didn't talk about yet.
And there's
but
like a Bible, whatever.
There's a
you know,
Bible,
yeah.
whatever. Go join the Patreon. I posted the whole other conversation on the Patreon.
Yeah,
You can purchase it for $5, or you can dedicate $2 a month.
Hell
It's
yeah.
up to you.
That's what's up.
But yes, you get out of that. You've got this creative writing, and but you had done stand up prior, right? You
Yeah.
had done comedy prior, and then there's a period of your life where you weren't doing comedy.
Yeah.
Right. Can you talk about sort of that interlude, right? And then also how much the creative writing degree and the studying, not just the degree, but the process of earning that degree, how much that has influenced your comedy?
So okay, let me start from the top. The decision to go back to the creative writing degree was super scary for me because psychosis and going through that process was obviously very isolating and like crazy, and my memory was largely just like charred out of it because that's something psychosis does. And I would just hear stories from my friends who I was in a band with at that time about how crazy I was, and all of that sort of slowly chipped away at my confidence that like I'm not able to be anything now. Like there's no rescuing this. So I was like, doing I think I did dishes again. I forget what I was doing. What work was I doing at that time? I
That's a fascinating, like, my go-to is dishes. Yeah. It's really interesting.
It's
Anyway.
not so bad.
Huh. All right.
And now my girlfriend does dishes at home, and I'm like, you're doing this all wrong. You don't know. I could have been pro. You don't even know.
If Coach would have put me in the kitchen, we would have won state.
They benched me when I wrote a Bible. But like having zero confidence that society would accept me and that I was like a broken person was beginning to be like a fundamental belief. And I had to go to rehab after the weed thing, and I was like getting back into being a person, and that helped my confidence a lot. And I was playing with new bands on the way home from rehab every day. I would go to this Kava Kratom place called Novelty, and I would play bass at their open jams, and that was helping me a lot. I was sight reading, I was pushing myself, I was playing a new instrument, I was getting a lot better at it. And then I was starting to build up my confidence. I asked my parents if I could do a semester at Valencia, just taking like an English class and economics. For some reason, to me, economics was like, this is something I know I'm not interested in. So if I push myself, if I will be in a position to push myself, and if I can push myself and succeed, then I'm viable. Then I'm a functioning person. And I did that, and I did great in the class. And then I was like, okay, I need to head in a direction. So I picked comedy because I really enjoyed comedy when I did it. I did comedy when I was 17. I took the stand-up comedy class at SAC. And that taught me a lot about just like structure and going out and like starting. And it was also another one of those situations where I was in a class with other people doing the same thing. So there was like a competitiveness. And I was also like by far the youngest one in the class. So that filled me with like a be the whiz kid archetype. You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting.
And that worked out for me great. I got a lot of confidence from that. And like that summer I went to a drama camp. That was my parents were trying to get me to go to college, and my dad went to this college called University of North Carolina School of the Arts, and they have like a summer drama program, and he was a part of it when he was younger, and then they accepted him into the program after they met him at that thing. So he was like, you should do this and like try and meet everybody and try to ingratiate yourself, and this is what college is like. It's not like high school. And I went and did that, and it was great for me, and I learned a lot. And then after I came back from that, I was super depressed. I was like, there's no real outlet for that in Orlando. And I was 17. I just turned 18. Yeah, that's right. I turned 18 while I was at that camp. And after that, that's when smoking really started to pick up and stuff, because I was like, I don't even know how I could possibly get back to that. I don't know what I'm doing. I did some stand-up then, and then I started to get bullied by the stand-ups. So famous person now, Christoph Jean from Orlando, was very shitty to me. And you may hear he's shitty to other people as well.
Fuck you, Christoph Jean.
Fuck you, Christoph.
That is the official position of the Marinade.
It was crazy. There was a night where I was like trying to, like, I was a kid. I was the youngest person in the comedy scene, where the open mic at Drunken Monkey, and I'm trying to talk to him. He's like fully ignoring me. I'm just talking to the side of his head. I'm like, hello. And he just ignores me, and like things like that would happen.
By the way, I don't know who the fuck that is, so
He's pretty popular. he's doing very well.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, I know, but maybe that attitude gets you along. I don't know.
Maybe you're doing this all
Yeah,
wrong,
I should
buddy.
start being mean.
Yeah,
That'd be
you'd
sick.
be great at that.
I'll try.
You got this, buddy.
Yeah, I could do this.
You can be a dick.
I'm gonna
You
start
can
hitting
be a
people.
dick. Yeah.
But yeah, that was very discouraging. So I stopped doing stand up as much. I smoked more and more and more, and my life fell apart. Whatever. Then I start to heal from that. Rehab, semester at Valencia, then Full Sail. Full Sail taught me so much about writing. The whole time I was at Full Sail, I was playing in 2 or 3 bands. And
That's a lot.
it was nice though.
Yeah.
And then at Full Sail, like a lot of the projects I would play music for. So it's like world building class. I wrote a whole album of music to go along with like the story Bible that I made for the world. I did a big oil painting of like what the world looked like. We later developed it into like a video game thing in a video game class. The writing program just teaches you so much about taking an intellectual property and then just like switching it over, making it fit into different configurations, developing it further, like plot development and also character development and like ways to see the world and creative solutions to new problems that you wouldn't have in a book if you were in a video game. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of like just stretching your brain in different ways to accommodate different things. And I found a lot of it, being applied to like writing an episode of a TV show versus writing a stand-up bit, and how to write anything well is based on the rewriting process. And we did so much rewriting in that. It really showed me a way to make my old stand-up from when I was a kid better, and how to make new stand-up that was more applicable to my current life, and then refine it further. So I learned a lot of writing techniques that I thought were super helpful. Goes to show studying is better than dropping
Kids,
out of high school.
are you still fucking listening?
Yeah.
Stop
what
listening.
Did I say? Yeah.
Go to bed.
Go to bed. For real. Oh my God.
Okay.
Did I answer your question? That was a lot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and see, we're doing improv right now. Yes, and
I
want to
Sack who?
yeah. Sack's a comedy school and club in downtown Orlando for everybody who's not familiar. So what I'm interested in kind of talking about how with that editing process with jokes, but I also want to make sure that we cover something that's like, to me, that's really important about your comedy. And again, you are one of my favorites, if not my favorite, doing it right now. And I'm so grateful that I get to see you right down the fucking street,
Oh,
you know,
thank you,
all the
buddy.
time, right? Like I get to see you once a week if I want to.
That is
Sometimes twice, right? It's
we
pretty
love
cool.
seeing you too. It's badass.
I'm always laughing.
Oh my god, the best audience member by far. Yet again. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get to laugh, and it's fun. And I've gotten really into comedy lately. And one of the things that I've noticed about your comedy is that you do such an excellent job of the concept of comedy is sacred. No topic should be off limits. But if you're punching down and you're being hateful and you're not funny, well, then that's not that cool. And what you do is you touch on stereotypes, and you go places that maybe people that are going to make people uncomfortable, but you don't do it in a hateful way. You don't do it in a hurtful way. You do it in a way that's funny and respectful. And I'm just so interested in how you pull that off and what that equation looks like.
Well, you can really lean into the irony and just say the hateful thing and pray to God that, you know, the people in the crowd are on your level and agree with you, so they see it as sarcastic and ironic, which is something that a lot of comics will do. Unfortunately, a lot of the times, that style is not successful. It has, like, in my experience, literally a 50% success rate. Every set you do is a coin flip, and it is super unattractive to the people that it's unattractive to at all. So there's a better way to do it. And Chris Rock always says, write about what they do, not what they are. So if you're going to write about, any type of group, talk about their actions, and you can talk about them in a caring way, a loving way, a way that shows understanding and like a sensitivity to the subtleties of what this group does. Without, saying like fuck trans people or something. Like trans people are fake. Like
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing that I find so frustrating is there's this whole brand of comedy that's really successful. The Rogans, the fucking Tony Hinchcliffes, these guys that just say shit that's not, to me, is not funny.
Sure.
It's just hurtful.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, and they're some of the most famous comedians in the world. I just don't get it personally. And it frustrates the hell out of me. Whereas, I don't think we should not talk about those things, right? We need to have nuanced conversations about things. And I think comedy allows us to get to a place of understanding. I loved how you said that. Like, understanding is such an important word there, because if you don't understand it and you're making a joke about it, well, that's coming from a hurtful place. Or if you're not seeking to understand
it's ignorant at least.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But the way you do it, you have that joke about black people in FaceTime, and it fucking slays every time, right? Yeah. There's an element of truth in it, obviously, right?
Like black people like to FaceTime.
Black people be on FaceTime, right?
All day long.
Yeah.
There's some black people watching this FaceTime.
Watching this right now. FaceTime. Yeah.
Also on FaceTime.
Yeah. Which is welcome, everybody.
Happy
and
to have you here.
As well as the person on FaceTime.
And whether you're listening to this or talking over it, we appreciate the view.
We talked about this 2 days ago, and then we discussed the fact that it drives me crazy, no matter who you are, if you don't have your headphones in and you're on speakerphone. And the aforementioned trip to Milk House yesterday, 3 motherfuckers at the same time. I almost texted you, but I wanted to wait to tell you now.
That's incredible.
3 at the same time.
Wow.
On FaceTime, speakerphone.
FaceTime.
None of them were black.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. One was Hispanic. I don't know if that means anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, now what races and ages?
Two white folks.
Yeah.
One
Were they
Hispanic.
FaceTiming each other?
Maybe. Yeah. I didn't dive that deep. I should have.
silly.
That would have been understandable. Is it different if you're in the same room with someone? We'll never know. We're not going to unpack that on this one. That's for next week.
That's silly. Oh my God. Yeah, that's annoying as hell. That's crazy.
And we need to start shaming these people. This is my new campaign,
Yeah.
is we start shaming people who are on without headphones. If you're on headphones, okay.
Yeah.
FaceTime your friend or whatever.
But do the phone up to the ear if you're in public. I think that makes more sense to
makes
me.
way more sense.
I don't like hearing a robot voice.
Yeah.
Like from across the room.
You know what drives me crazy is like like, and this is probably part of me not growing up with a cell phone, right? For folks just listening, I'm roughly 20 years older than Preston. And so we're from a different
Not a day over 10 years older than me.
He's so sweet.
Yeah.
But I don't like when I'm scrolling Instagram. Like let's say you send me a video on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
I am gonna wait until I'm in a very comfortable position. I'm gonna wait until I'm like at home and I can put my headphones in.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna watch that video. Like even if I'm by myself scrolling and I see a video that I'm like, that's kind of interesting, I'm probably not hitting that speaker, right? Until I can get the headphones. And I think part of that is just my like appreciation for decent sound. But there's something about even as good as the speakers have gotten on phones, something about listening to like music or a video or whatever audio through those speakers drives me up the fucking wall.
It sucks. It's really rough. Especially as a bass player, when I would send a mix to my phone and listen to it, it's like I may as well not even be playing. Like it's the worst. Yeah. But you can hear it if you go like this with that same speaker. So I don't know. They're not big enough to move the air like you need. And especially in places with any type of droning noise, like even in the car, if I'm trying to listen to a video, it's a nightmare out of those little phone speakers. I hear you.
All right. So sound, let's talk a little bit more about that. And I want to think about this in terms of process. When you're writing a joke or numerous jokes, can you talk us through your writing process? And then also, one thing that I'm curious about is like how cognizant you are as you're writing or maybe as you're editing of what it vocally is going to sound like.
Oh, yeah, I have to practice them all out loud. So first, when I'm writing a joke, I'll write as much as I possibly can on that topic, just as like a brainstorm almost, like a vomit draft is what we called it at Full Sail, where you just write things that you know are trash as you're writing them, but you write them anyway for the sake of I'm going to edit this out, or I'm going to find something in this later, or this is just organic and this is human to have this thought after this thought after this thought, so there's value in that at the very least. And then I do a second pass where I just like edit chunks out. Normally in that vomit draft there will be 1 or 2 lines that stay the same until the very end, like this setup, this punchline is funny, I love that, and that's normally what will get me to refine it more, the other parts, because I'll know I have one thing, and then I'll be like, this could be more, this should be more, let me fight to make this.
Does that one thing have to be funny, or does that one thing could be a setup?
Yeah, it's always funny.
It's always funny.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't care about a setup. I'm not attached to any of my setups. I just thought of one funny, like, and then now I have to build a fucking world for these people to make this, they have some mileage.
So that they can come into your understanding. Like, that's interesting.
There's like a brain meld about it where everybody has to be visualizing the same thing as you're telling the joke, and that's they talk about that in the like novel writing, short story writing, everything like that, every version of writing. But in spoken word, it's especially serious because all of the people in the room, if they're not in the same world, they won't laugh at the punchline. And
that's why the straight up racist joke doesn't work,
because they're not in the same world.
Not in the same world.
Some of those people know racist people are real, and they think the guy on stage might be one.
Yeah. Oh man, this is so interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's tricky. But yeah, for my writing process, I'll write it out, edit it once, edit it again probably, tweak it, and then I'll start pacing around and saying it out loud. And that's the only way I can get it memorized, is like hearing it, feeling the rhythms of it. And also that's the only way I can know if it's funny or not, is finding the rhythms of it, because I'll say a joke and I'll say it in the right rhythm, and then my body will just start laughing like I'm hearing it for the first time at home in my living room. But it is funny to hear someone say it. Like, I'm like, that was right. Yeah. And then that's normally I'll try that out on stage and watch it do. That part will do good. The part that I actually laugh at home does good, but the rest of it is whatever. Yeah. 50-50. I have to see if it makes the crowd laugh, and if it does make the crowd laugh, I can listen to that recording. I always audio record at least my sets, because that really helps me find the rhythms and the timing. And I'll study those on the way home normally. from the club and just upload that, and maybe I'll listen to it again right before I go on stage the next time if I'm working on new stuff, just to see what works, what doesn't, and how to tweak it for maximum laughs.
We do want maximum laughs.
Maximum laugh.
Maximum.
My first special. Maximum laugh.
Maximum laughs.
Preston Canavan in Maximum Laugh.
And then Preston Canavan in the sequel to Maximum Laughs, Minimum Laughs.
Maximum Laughs 2. The laughs stopped.
It's just you up there like reading the names of dead people in some conflict.
Oh my god! I'm at the Berlin Wall with a like not the Berlin Wall. What's that?
The Vietnam Memorial.
Yeah. The Vietnam Memorial is just all.
See, I was in your world. You brought me in your world.
I'm at a piece of cement with shit carved on it.
Berlin Wall's pretty sad too.
Yeah. Listen, but there's nothing to read. It's just graffiti, right? Yeah.
That's your this is how good your German is, I guess.
Yeah, this German graffiti is compelling. Oh my god.
Okay, so with the thinking about performing, like kind of turning our attention to performance, because one of the things compliment coming, buddy.
Oh my
Another
god.
thing that I love about about your comedy is your performance, is the fact that not only are you hilarious, but like you have a good sense of your crowd. You have a certain confidence on stage that comes through clearly. And yeah, and that's been from the first time I saw you, you know? So where does that confidence come from? And then also, can you talk a little bit about like crowd awareness and how you might adjust your act?
Crowd awareness is huge. So there's like two kinds of confidence. There's like the long, slow burning confidence that you have to build over like hundreds and thousands of times going on stage and proving to yourself that you're surviving. Mm-hmm. And then there's like a set by set confidence, and that confidence, the original slow burning confidence, also like is constantly slowly turning down. Like it's like a week off from comedy and I'm like at like 80%, maybe 70% of what I should be confidence wise. Like if I didn't have a set, if the second I get off stage after a great set, it's maximum. And then even the next morning, it's on 99. Like it's
dude, playing songs. I feel the exact same way. I feel like I do not belong on stage right now because I haven't been up there in 2 months.
Oh. It's blood
Sucks,
chilling,
man.
and then like if after a bad set, it's basically 0. It might be 5. Like it's like I've never been good at this. I've been lied to by thousands of fake laughers who paid for this punked episode because I am shredded.
Where do you think I got this record collection, buddy? You think those laughs were free?
Dude, I am so sad. It's like I think about it all the time. I just had like a string of bad shows. I grew a beard. This is so stupid. I grew a beard and I could not stop bombing. My beard, it just looked bad. It aged me. I got away with nothing. All my like young boyish sarcasm gone. I got no like fucking slack. And
I'm struggling to listen because I'm trying to picture you with a beard.
It looked terrible. It looked so bad. It's bright red. It's all the way red.
Yeah,
it's funny. I can see you got some ginger in there.
Yeah. I'm salt and cayenne pepper.
So, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's
thanks.
good. Yeah. It looked bad. It was like nothing. It's like fine.
That's not a beard.
That's not a beard is a great point. Yeah. You have a great beard. I would kill to grow a proper beard, but I grew what I can, and that was hair on my face, so I'm going to put it in the filing.
When you get it here, you also get it here here. It's a trade-off, you know.
I don't think anyone in my life has hair. I don't think my dad or my mom have much hair. I think I'm stuck with what I got. But it was, I just looked worse, and I think everybody, my likability went down. I think being as attractive as you possibly can is a huge asset in any performing art, and also just being a person walking around. Like attractive people get insane privilege. Be as attractive as you can be.
Yeah,
Exercise.
kids, are you still fucking listening?
Are you acting ugly? Put some makeup on. Go.
Everybody's talking about how plastic surgery is bad.
No.
No.
Big W.
No. Yeah, you guys-
You want job offers? Do you want the people to laugh?
Get
You
that lip
better
filler.
get hot. Yeah, you better get Botox today. And go to the gym.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Salads.
The likability got real messed up. I don't know what it was. I couldn't make it work. I shaved my beard immediately. I'm crushing again.
That is wild.
It's wild. There was a chunk of time where I went on stage in a suit. Bombed so bad. There was one time I did good, and then every other time I was bombing.
Wait, what was the thought process there?
I tried a lot of things in my first year of doing comedy that I'm not proud of. All right, I got a mullet. I grew a mustache, and you saw my beard. The mustache is just the worst part of that.
I think I saw a video. There was one video that's really funny. I'm trying to remember which one it is.
Oh,
where
the
you have a
autism one
mustache.
where I talk about my autism.
Yes, that one's so good.
Yeah. That was my most viral video. That was a repost of it, but the original one got over 2 million views.
Holy shit.
And then I archived it because I was going out for job offers, and in that joke I like make a an allusion to the N-word and how
It's so funny. It's a great example of what I was talking about earlier, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Like what I was talking about earlier about your ability to like confront things, and y'all go watch it because like it's so fucking funny. He talks about the R word being his word. It's so fucking funny.
That was another phase of my life we didn't cover last time, is getting diagnosed with autism. So while I was at Full Sail, I was halfway through, I got another breakup. And that just drove me crazy. I was like, again, just like square one. I'm not good for society. I'm fucked up. I'm too sad to do anything.
Yeah.
And I started going to a therapist, and she helped me so much. And within
Hell yeah, therapy.
Hell yeah therapy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah therapy.
I got an appointment tomorrow.
Hell yeah, dog.
Yeah.
That's tremendous.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's like it was the best part of my week for years.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I need it.
I don't see her anymore. I miss Kathleen.
Oh, Kathleen.
I was thinking about Kathleen today.
Yeah, they have that effect.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Kathleen was badass. She told me she woke up at 4 a.m. every day and went to the gym. And then she would come to do therapy just done up, fucking high heels, looking nice as hell, and also being just like the smartest and most productive person I had ever met.
Yeah.
And she diagnosed me with autism. She was like, you're autistic. She was like, I teach kids with autism. I help kids with autism all the time. Autism is one of her specialties, and like ABA therapy is one of the things that she's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, you got lucky that you landed
I got
her.
so lucky. I'd had multiple therapists before that. No one brought it up. One of the reasons that I was going to therapy so much is because I was like, what is wrong with me? I swear to God, something is wrong with me. Am I a sociopath? Am I a narcissist? I cannot connect with people. I kept feeling this, like I'm in communities of people, but I only am able to activate if we're all working on a task that is our own task. So like in a band, I'm fine. In comedy, I'm fine. You don't really paint with other people, but in any of the things that I do, I feel like if other people are also doing a similar thing, it's fine. Me and my girlfriend, we just play our own video games next to each other. Fucking dope. All right.
Sounds great.
I just need to be focused on a task if I'm around people, because it is so hard for me to connect with people with no excuse to connect with them. Like recreational hanging out, never. Never.
Yeah.
And that's something that I talked to Kathleen a ton about. I was like, I do not connect with people properly. I don't know what it is. I like doing my little hobbies. And she was like, you're retarded. And I was like, thank you, Kathleen. You helped me. You saved my life.
Hard R, Preston. This is
she's the doctor. All right. No, it was a huge unlock for me, because one of the things that I carried around, especially since the psychosis thing, but really since middle school and elementary school, was what is wrong with me? Why am I not connecting with people in the way that I should be? I love being in certain spaces, and I cannot stand being in other spaces, and being around people is always like confused and upset me more than anything else, and I just work my hardest to make it like light and fun, so there can be like the strata required for connection, you know what I mean? Because I feel so like I want to say insecure, but it's not insecure. It's like afraid of like any type of, I don't know, damage inflicted on me. So just making sure it's just like light and silly and fun is the only way that I've found to really break through that fear into like, oh, we are connecting without a doubt. We are connecting right now.
The teacher in me is so pissed off because like you could have been one of my 7th graders when I was teaching, and
I would have loved you.
you would have, and I would have known that you were autistic, and I would have and I would have accommodated that,
Yeah,
and
that
I
would've been
also,
tremendous.
and I would have made sure you got, the supports that you needed, right? And I would have challenged you in the way you needed to be challenged.
Would have been so helpful.
Like all of the shit that you told me, like your friend groups, like not having trouble making friendships, becoming obsessed with the trumpet, like all the shit. I'm like, duh.
Yeah. In my early childhood though, it was always shit like that. Like
Yeah.
I carried around a sketchbook forever.
Of course you did.
I was a blacksmith. I convinced my father. We went to like this like Renaissance fair type event. We went to there was also like one time we went to like a museum and like a big house. I want to say Biltmore. Have you heard of Biltmore Estates?
Oh yeah, in Asheville.
I think we saw a blacksmith there, and I was like, that's so cool. I loved it. I was a bit of a pyromaniac, but also just like metal. Like I love metal, like cold, soft, hard, sharp sometimes. It's cool. I love metal.
Metal is cool. Fire is also cool.
Yeah, fire's
I'm neurotypical, and I agree.
Hell yeah. And I just loved it. And the anvil, the pang, it was really cool. And I loved it. My dad also was like, I think that's really cool as well. He had done like some like, he's a lighting guy, like a scenic designer, but he had done a lot of like shop things. And he owned a business for a long time. I guess he still does jobs, but he's retired now. Canavan Scenic and Light, and he would put on live events. And he had like a wood shop in his warehouse where his employees and him would make set pieces, like backgrounds for sets, like anything that you need, and big props, stuff like that. And there was also a metal shop where there was like room to, weld. And he taught me how to weld, and he taught me how to make things out of metal and wood. And that was so much fun for me. And in 4th grade, my grandfather was throwing away a grill, and I was like, can we please blacksmith with that? And he was like, what? No. And we figured it out though. We went to Skycraft. You know Skycraft?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Skycraft is the coolest. I love Skycraft.
Yeah. It still exists.
I know,
it's just
but
way off of Silver Star Road
in my
or
childhood,
something.
it was an active part of my life.
Yeah.
Like
It's in Winter Park. It was in Winter Park, Florida. Everybody listening on Fairbanks.
I think it's in another Edgewater now or something.
Yeah, it's like out. It's way
it's
out.
It's a couple
there.
blocks away.
Yeah.
Like I guess over a mile really, because those blocks are so big. But it's the best. They just sell military surplus, but also little electronic parts. They sell sheets of metal. This particular Skycraft visit, what we got was a squirrel fan, which is a little fan that has like a inside certain type of propeller. I don't know why it's called a squirrel fan, but it looks like a hamster in a wheel type thing. But we got that for the grill, cut a hole in it, attached it, had fire bricks inside, and we used charcoal instead of coal. And then we went to Harbor Freight and got a 55-pound lead anvil. Like it was like not even useful. Like lead is so much softer than steel, even hot steel. So we would regularly deform this anvil. But we used that setup to make like little twisty hooks and stuff, and soon evolved out of that because my dad was into it, and it's like we were doing it and we were bonding, and I think
that's cool.
played a part. But like it was one of the first times where I was like creatively activated, where I was like, this is so cool, like I want to be a part of this, and someone else was there. But even at that age, I was like, you can go inside, Dad. Like I'm chilling. Like it's just I was like, alone time is great. And later in life, he let me have alone time with forges. And then like I blacksmithed like pretty regularly until I was 18. And I got tons of alone time towards the end, especially. I would make all kinds of random shit. But I made a whole forge for the Shakespeare Festival in 9th grade. I made a coal forge. To bring into school, and I blacksmithed at school.
That's so dope.
It was dope. Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. I made a knife at school.
Not as cool.
It was pretty cool. It was a knife. Yeah.
It is metal.
Yeah, it was metal. It was all metal.
It's metal as fuck.
Yeah, we would get like secondhand parts and stuff, and make cool stuff, and that was a big part of my childhood. Blacksmithing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, no wonder Kathleen. No wonder Kathleen knew.
She put it together.
You're like,
yeah.
you were like, yeah, I used to blacksmith. She's like, autistic.
Yeah, there's not a lot of neurotypical blacksmiths.
Yeah. So how did that diagnosis help you though? I mean, it had to. I would get. Well, I shouldn't jump to conclusions. How did it help you personally? How did it help you creatively? Or did it where you're just like, God damn it, fuck.
It was a huge relief. I knew it was something. I just thought it was something so much worse. I thought it was something sinister, like being a sociopath or a narcissist or like borderline personality disorder. I was literally just looking at the personality disorders like it could be any one of these.
Yeah.
I know it's something wrong, and I know I'm not able to see exactly what it is, so it must be one of these things. Because those are the ones where it's like you don't think something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like I think something's wrong with me, but I can't figure out what it is, so it must be something. It must be one of these. And Kathleen was like, that's what autistic people say.
Narcissists don't say, I think I might be a narcissist.
Yeah, exactly. They're never like, I think something's really wrong with me. I'm not nice all the time. No, they thrive on that discomfort, and I sure don't. So I don't know, but yeah, it took a big load off my back in terms of like, oh my God, I'm not evil. Like I thought I was evil or something for like feeling this way and not being able to connect with people. I was like, this is what villains are, right? Like I just didn't feel good about things, but that it just made me realize I was more often than not just uncomfortable in any given situation, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that just going home and coping with that is fine.
Man, that's great. I'm glad that. Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you so much, Kathleen.
Yeah.
You're the realest, deadass. I hope your new job is cool.
Kids, first of all, why are you still listening?
Yeah, get out of here.
Secondly,
Go to
if what'd you say?
Go to therapy.
Yeah, right, exactly. Secondly, go to therapy. Yes, thank you. How much time do you have, by the way?
I'm chilling.
Okay, cool. So thinking about your career right now, right? You've had these moments that have popped, right? You've had a couple of viral moments. Every time I've seen you, you've killed. Even though the last time I saw you, the audience was not so cool, except me. I was cool.
Yeah, you rolled me down.
Yep. Rest of the audience, not so cool, because there was a racist dude in the middle.
What can you do? It's comedy night.
Yep, and they didn't think that was funny. There's a lot of black people there, and they did not think that was funny.
Race jokes go way better when there's more black people than white people, let me tell you. I cannot get a room. If there's no black people in the room, this is one of the crowd awareness things. If there's no black people in the room, do not do a joke about race.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
They appreciate it more than anybody else.
Oh.
It's also, if there's no black people, the white people are like, what is he doing?
Oh.
Like, what? We
That
love
makes
black
sense.
people.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I hadn't really thought about it like that, but that makes a ton of sense. But anyway, you've been crushing,
Yeah,
and
thanks.
every time I've seen you, and I just think about like how when I follow other comedians that I really like, and I just think you're there with them. And so what do you think about in terms of like the next steps in your career?
Such a good question. I think about it every day because it's the landscape ahead of me is changing. One, because it's like, it's all future based. It's not just what am I doing today, it's what am I doing tomorrow. And I also will get stuck in the future base and not focus on everything that I could do today. Like today, I could have edited a clip and posted it. I have dozens of clips ready to be edited, and I'm not doing it. I don't know why, but it's hard work and it's annoying, and it's also kind of like, recently I've been feeling better about this, but just like the act of posting something leaves you so vulnerable for like public humiliation. If this gets 3 likes, I'll kill myself. Like, what is the point of me?
Yeah.
And that's annoying, but part of the business. And thinking about the future of the business, I have to say social media is a huge part of it. But I was watching a video today that really threw me, where this guy was talking about you have to be where the action is, and now I'm all over. I'm just in my head like, do I move to New York as soon as I can? Like, it's stuff like that where it's like, I don't know what the future holds, but I do know that it's going to involve doing a lot of comedy, taking a lot of videos of it, and then finding a way to become popular. And I think that that's the formula that has been working for the past, since COVID, really, where it's started to hit the, like, you know, if you get viral with clips, you can have a YouTube following and a Patreon, and those things bring way more income than TikTok or Instagram or any other type of short content view.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure that your platform is of a scale that you could support yourself if you went on tour, you would be able to sell tickets in cities across America. That type of thing is, unfortunately, looks like the only path left, because LA is like on fire. What is Hollywood? Hollywood used to be a ladder. Now it's like 10 guys, and there's no way up. They're not going anywhere. And I guess more and more people can just become famous. But I mean, the market is saturated enough. Like, there are world-class comedians that are fucking C tier in LA and on the internet and don't have followings on the internet, or have been in like multiple movies and have done huge things with Hollywood, but now they can't get anything. And I don't know. It seems like the money's not right. Things have been a mess since well before the writer's strike, but if anything illuminated it in my eyes, it was this writer's strike. That was years ago now.
Yeah, wow. I totally forgot about it.
Yeah. And I think for comedians, like, for me at least, when I got into comedy, I was very in my head about, this was like right after Full Sail. I was like, I'm going to become a headlining touring comedian so then I can get a sitcom. And now I look at it and it's like, I would be better off self-producing a sitcom and putting it on YouTube than trying to get it made by ABC or NBC or Fox. Like, what a fight that looks like.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like a fight that my horse would even be allowed into the race. Like, how many barriers are between me and that? How much nepotism? How many people who paid more money? Like, how many people who have lived there for their entire life and have all those friends? It's very intimidating to go about it that way, and also way more expensive to live there. There or New York, which is essentially a similar type of climate where you'd be fighting for your life to make money, because the greatest comedians in the world are all right there.
Yeah.
Well, who's gonna see you? Like, the open mics are all day long, but the only people in the crowd are comedians, and you have to pay to go up.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
For 3 minutes. It's crazy. But that's what happens to an oversaturated scene. That's what's happening in Austin right now.
Yeah.
They have open mics from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. and you can do 10 of them, but you get 3 minutes and no one's there except for other comedians. So you're not really developing. You're just in the rat race.
Conundrum. Leave it, bud.
Good boy.
Good boy. Yeah, leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it. Good boy. Just like the couch. There we go.
Just like the couch, buddy. Yeah.
It's much
Give
better.
the couch a turn.
Yeah. Couches need it too.
But yeah, if I lived in Austin or LA or New York, I'd be fighting for my life in a completely different way. At least in Orlando, I can get the stage time I need to make the clips to get the following. But in those other places, like, it's barely hospitable. So I would just be like slugging away in the trenches until I slowly, like, you know, over time, progressively graduate to some sort of like middle class of comedy.
And getting better too, because you go up all the time. I mean,
That's a big thing.
right.
Yeah.
Thursday, you went up Friday too.
Oh, here? Yeah, here I can do all kinds of things. But
yeah.
I think in terms of writing short-term material, they might have an advantage because I can do it so many times in one day. So I could edit a joke from like dog shit to great in, I don't know, 9 tellings in one day if I'm lucky. Like, there's a ton of things out there. So
man, that's a hustle right there.
That's a hustle.
Yeah.
But in Orlando, I get to do 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I get to do 30 minutes. I get to do 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I get to have moments to shine in a bigger way because I'm not in competition with Dave Chappelle and Dave Attell and and Dave and
Dave.
everybody, all the great comics
All
are
the
Dave.
great Daves, yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld. Like, who am I going up against?
Jerry David Seinfeld.
Jerome Davidson.
We don't have a producer, so somebody's got to fact check that. I don't know if his middle name is David. It's got to be, right?
Yeah, at this rate. Look at how good he is at stand-up.
Fucking Illuminati shit, man.
Yeah.
Only Davids.
Only Davids. It might be better for short bits, but in terms of getting a video of me in front of a great crowd, I don't know. I still don't have enough exposure in New York to even say this with certainty. It's just almost everyone I know who has come from New York to here to talk about it has said that about it.
Yeah.
And I've done stand-up in New York, like, I don't know, 5 times when I was younger.
How'd it go?
I wasn't great at stand-up. I was pretty bad at it for a long time. And I was also in this phase where it's like, so I did it for a year and a half when I was 17. And in that time, I wrote way more than I write now, just in terms of like vomit drafts, but did very little refining. Like, I'm going to tell the jokes, I think 10 times, maximum.
Yeah.
Before I'm like, new joke. Like, let's see how to really, it's just like training how to get a premise and how to find anything in it. And then doing that again with a new premise.
Okay, I want to ask you then about the process, like a little bit deeper into process. So, you're performing so often now, and you listen on your way home to that performance, which I think is incredible because it's fresh in your mind. I do that too. Like, I'm at Barley and Vine, so I just walk over here and then I watch myself,
Yeah.
And I'm definitely like critical of myself and also try to give myself grace, go through that editing process as I'm watching the performance. You're driving, so you're probably not scribbling in a notebook. Are you just keeping it up here? Are you making voice memos? Like, when you notice something that maybe didn't work or could work better this way, does that process look any particular way?
Yeah, it's all in my head.
Okay.
It's like when I listen to a recording of myself, I can feel my body making the decisions that it was making when I was doing it. Like, I will like jerk the way that I jerked. I'll like I'll lip sync to myself because I remember exactly how it went, because I remember like just like the way that it feels. Hearing a recording of yourself does something so weird for your brain.
Yeah.
Where it's like the most rich and accurate version of a memory, and it just like sears through you. And like that really gives you the opportunity to like recognize what your motives were in those decisions and where your head was at and how you were feeling, and you remember why you made those micro choices, and it's so clear. And that type of edit that I would have in that moment is filed so fast and so deep that it's just, those stay with me. I don't really write down those ideas before I go up and do them. They're just already there from listening to it.
Okay, what about the pre-process in terms of, you do a lot of writing and editing. Can you talk about like what that looks like when you're sitting down to write?
I will sometimes have an idea and then I'll just like run to the typewriter. But sometimes I just sit down to be like, I'm going to journal, and then I write until I find something funny.
Handwriting, and then you find something funny and it goes to the typewriter?
No,
or?
typewriter.
It's all on typewriter.
It's all typewriter. If I'm thinking of an idea and I'm driving or something, I'll write it in my phone real fast. I do like editing on the phone. So I do the typewriter for the vomit draft, and then for the second rewrite, I'll go over it with a pen after that. And then I write things in the margins, like tags and stuff, and then I type that version up. And then I start saying it out loud and seeing if it's funny, and I keep marking it up with a pen. And then usually after that, it has to go into the phone so I can really parse down words and get surgical with it. And also copy pasting chunks, moving around chunks to organize it fully. That's super helpful too.
Like handwriting it or like?
No, in the notes app.
Oh, in the notes app. I'm sorry. Yeah.
The notes app. I can't really do the handwriting because it's so slow.
Yeah. I was going to say, are you like cutting it out and then pasting it? Because maybe the foldable should have paid more fucking
Foldable
attention.
Trauma. Yeah. It takes me all day.
Because you can just cut that shit out of the typed version.
Where are my Fiskars safety scissors? Where's my Elmer's purple glue stick?
Of course, they gave you the safety scissors.
Yeah. I needed the safety scissors. And I still ran with them. Okay. There are no safety scissors when you're as spastic as I am.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, so I want to
saying it out loud after the phone is saying it out loud, and that further refines it because you have to find the rhythms of it. Super important.
Okay, another question about that, because I think about that with performance and writing too. Is that like oftentimes when I'm like practicing a song, I'll video myself with that new song.
Hell yeah.
And then play it back. Is that a practice that you have as well, or like you in the mirror?
In the mirror, or even not in the mirror, just pacing around, like looking in the middle space and trying to make sure that I memorize it.
Okay, yeah, because I mean I know, I think when I have a conundrum. Thank you, bud.
Good boy. What a good boy.
It. Good job,
Look at that
bud.
sigh. He did a big ass sigh.
Yeah, he's so pissed at me today.
He's
He's so mad at me. Yeah.
He's like, I'm pissed.
Well, I gave them we recorded an episode of Life's Greatest Hits with Jordan Foley and myself today, and I gave them at the end of it. He just hung out for a few minutes, so I'm trying to be like super dad, right? Because I have joint custody.
Hell yeah.
Right. So I'm like super dad. So they're just super stoked to be here, and they love both of us. Like, whatever. They love her too, and she's a good mom for all her other faults. But she's a good mom, okay? Dog mom. And so I bought them each 2 toys.
Yeah.
And you were here a couple of days ago when I gave him the first 2 toys, right?
Yeah.
And he just stole them both.
Yeah.
Right?
Savage.
So today I was like, I think I have the perfect balance. I have a toy that he's going to be more excited about and a toy that she's going to be more excited about. So I gave them those. Nope.
No.
Same result. Actually, different result. He didn't give a shit about the one I gave him.
He just wanted to
He
dominate
just wanted to dominate
her.
her.
Oh, you poor queen. Oh, look at her.
And she's usually in charge, but he's so physically dominating. It's the one opportunity he has to be in charge. And so he's been so pissed at me since I took that toy away. I know. He's got it rough. Look at him. He's got his eyes closed.
Dogs are so much more complicated than cats.
Oh, different kind of complicated.
Well, I mean, you just did social politics. My cats are
are sociopaths.
Yeah, they're outside of these rules. That's what I'm saying. It's very simple. There are no rules, and you just sit and watch. Yeah. It's a lot easier than knowing they care.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I feel like my cat just is really not nice with other animals. She hates the other 2 cats in the house.
Yeah,
And like I try to keep her stressed down as much as I can, but she just wants the smoke. She wants the. She's so violent.
So is it your cat, and then Janet has a couple of cats?
Yeah. So I lived alone formerly with my cat. Just me and my angel.
17, right?
Yeah, she's 17.
What's her name?
Her name is Spooky.
Spooky.
I got her for Christmas when I was 8 years
Spooky,
old.
Pooky, Spooky.
Yeah, she's a little angel. And she's been my guy for a minute. And then she was getting she's old and she's like bad at shit, but she had the whole house, and we have like there's a staircase, it's a townhouse, there's stairs, so she would run up and down the stairs with me every day. We would get her like exercise and stuff, and like she would always like hunt the whole house, like just like make sure that everything's like tight, and then she would go upstairs and sleep in the closet all day. And now these other cats are here, and we don't really let them hang out so much. One, because Spooky's on a special food that if she eats any of their food, it could activate her hyperthyroid. And also, she's fine. She just has to eat her special thyroid food. She can't have iodine. That's what it is. And then Janet's cats, one of them's fucking diabetic, and the other one eats kitten food, so they can't eat Spooky's food either. Yeah. And they'll just come up and eat Spooky's food. So just like having the door closed is a better thing. And I have like a massive bedroom. Like it's like the size of this room. Like it's way bigger than I think a bedroom should be. But that's just the size of it. And I have like a desk in the corner. Like I just have my entire life in that room because it fits. Yeah. And then let Spooky hang out in there. So that's like her apartment, and then there's also a bathroom, and then Janet's room is the upstairs. So we just like close all the doors, and there's a way through the bathroom. It's like a Jack and Jill bathroom. So Spooky gets like a upstairs apartment, and then Janet's cats get downstairs.
Okay.
But
That's some good arrangement.
it's okay,
a
but
little
every time we let
challenging,
them
but-
around each other, Spooky's so deeply violent as a cat that she just tries to kill them. Like, and it's not like playing; it's like she's trying to kill them, and I can recognize that in her because she's a little baby. She has, and I know her, and she's got the murder, and it's okay. She's got a case of the murders, and she's taking it out on some decent cats, really decent other animals, and it's obviously not fair.
Yeah.
So I have to keep her boxed.
When you got the murders, you know, like
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
I know, I know.
She's got the murders.
Yeah.
Jan's other cat has the sugar.
Yeah, Kermit's got the sugar and the wheezies. He's got
He's got the
asthma
sugar and the
and
wheezies.
diabetes, and he has one eye.
This is exhausting.
This cat is, I mean, as disabled as he gets, and we pretend like it's
And
chill.
cats aren't as complicated as dogs, Preston.
Yeah. He's sick. Okay, we picked some of the worst cats you can have. There's one healthy cat.
I will say, on the planet. I feel like everybody I know who has cats is like, yeah, my cat has diabetes, AIDS, cancer.
Oh no! What are they doing for that? Prozac. Oh, for the cat. Yeah.
Oh man,
No, it's sad.
that is sad.
Yeah, but cats you can keep them alive forever. It feels like. Spooky
Yeah, that is the
17.
wild thing about it. I guess because
Yeah.
they get old and then they get sick usually, but
Yeah,
some of them they be sick young.
it's true. And expensive. Oh my god.
Well, dogs get, and I hate even saying this when these two in the room, but
Yeah, knock on wood.
yeah, dogs get cancer is
Yeah.
the thing that's like so fucking stressful. Like I constantly like my anxiety, you know, I mean, I live with generalized anxiety and it's a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
It is a motherfucker. And I'm not going to bore everybody who's listened to 200 episodes of the show to go into all the details again. But one of the ways it manifests is just worrying about other people and creatures that you love
Yeah.
in very unhealthy and delusional and not at all rooted in fact kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
ways, right? They're both fine, right? He has allergies and isn't very smart,
Same.
but other than that, God, we're a room full of them, huh?
Yeah. Gang, gang. It's you and me, brother.
I've been taking my allergy supplement tonight, and I can barely breathe.
I was like, am I getting sick again? It's fucking allergies.
No, just allergies.
It's so
And she's just a perfect angel. She's
Yeah.
just brilliant.
She's
and
nailing it.
She can be a bitch, but she's just, sweetheart.
Same.
Yeah. We're just a room full of bitches.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, buddy. All right, this has been such a pleasure. We usually end on what we're getting down on. That's the art that you have that's firing you up at the moment.
It's the same one.
Let's
It's
do
the,
it.
It's the graphic design one.
Let's do it.
I might have made a new one.
I'm
Oh
gonna-
no, I
I
did.
actually have like a small request after this too, which like
I'll send them to you. Is that what you want?
no.
Oh, what's up?
I want to ask you to roast my record collection again.
Oh, that was so
It was
funny.
so fun.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be able to create that same magic, but I think now that you have like a baseline,
Yeah. My thing that I've been getting down on is making records into a comedy poster. So I've been taking them and photoshopping the text off of them and then supplementing it with my own text and changing the shape of it and like building more of it. And you were telling me that you got a bunch of records.
so I had a girlfriend, or I dated a woman for a while, whose uncle had a serious collection of 70s and 80s soul records. And he passed away. No one in the family wanted the collection.
Yeah.
I started dating this woman, and she was very into me. And so she goes, I want you to have these records, because she knew I was into records.
Nice.
So I inherited like 50, 70s, and 80s soul records.
Incredible.
And they're all living right, again, by your right butt cheek,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
they were
yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay?
No way. Adorable.
What do we got there? We got the best of mini
It's Harry Tubman.
River. She looked prettier than the pictures I've seen of Harriet Tubman.
The front one did, but the back one was. And you were telling me that almost all of them on the cover are an unattractive man.
Yeah, it's like
trying his best.
It's like this remarkable period of time where like every single one of these is like a man who is like a 5.
Five is generous. Yeah. Yeah, these were looking crazy.
Yeah.
I want to find the ones. This was the first one, the Isley brothers.
Yeah, there's like 6 of them. One guy's like in a karate gym. He looks like Uncle Rico.
Yeah.
There's a cowboy Isley brother.
And a couple of them have the face of the Geico caveman.
That guy in the Elvis suit.
Yeah, the Elvis suit is almost like he has like a Wolverine haircut.
I think the okay, so the guy in the upper right,
Yeah.
like that's definitely a professional wrestler that I grew up on. I don't care that they say it's the Isley brothers. That's like that guy fought the Macho Man at WrestleMania.
Oh my god.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, he's got
Those can go wherever, by the way.
Yeah, but I just somehow remembered what they
Oh.
were. And then this man.
Oh, there he is again, Miles J.
A very plain man.
He's a 5.5.
Yeah.
He's a 5.5.
And he's selling the fuck out of it.
Dude,
he's
he is.
Really
No,
stepping on
okay,
the slutty gas.
Here's one thing I like about this though is that like you can't see half of his face.
Yeah.
Right?
The
Like,
ugly half, presumably. the half with the goiter. And he's really trying to sell that one eye.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. It's 5.5, baby. What's up?
Yeah. When the lighting's right, I'm a 5.5. Oh my god.
Howard Hewitt.
He's so plain.
He is so plain.
I could not, for the life of me, guess the country of origin of this man. He is everything, everywhere, all at once, and they slapped him in suede, baby.
Yeah,
That's
they
it.
did. I kind of want that suit though. I'm
It's
not
a
gonna
nice
lie.
looking suit. It's nice looking.
Kind of want it. Howard is his name.
I commit to love.
I commit to saying he's probably mixed race, mostly from South America, and then he's black passing.
He's Dominican.
He's Dominican. Geography lesson.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Talk about plain.
Oh, Jeffrey Osborne? Oh, I have like way too much Jeffrey Osborne, dude.
I mean, but his face.
Yeah, I know. He's Jeffrey, bless your heart, buddy. 3?
3.
3. Yeah.
3.
We're gonna go
Remember we were talking about how being attractive is like such an asset. Like
Yeah.
it can really help you in society.
Jeffrey sold 2 records.
I was gonna say that's how I know he's a good singer, but he's not even that. If he only sold 2 records. That's so funny. Oh my god.
We should put that on afterward. Maybe set that one aside and we'll
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to it later.
Let's bump that. Let's check his quality as a man. Oh my god.
Kashif? Kashif, I guess?
didn't even read the name. That is Kashif.
That's Kashif.
Kashif.
Cash.
It's like hashish, but it's cash. Yeah.
Cash has to be able to sing.
He must.
Like, look at that man. I like how he's doing the thing, like this, like brush your hair back thing that the ladies do.
Yeah.
You know?
But his
It's
hair
like-
doesn't move.
No, it doesn't.
Oh my god. Is it just me or is Kashif like 6'4"?
He's gotta be 5'2" that they made look 6'4".
You think so?
Because there's no other way, right?
Yeah, he does look. I mean, the proportions. Something ain't right.
Something, right?
Something ain't right. I don't know if he's humongous or just a wee little lad.
I kind of dig the minimalist vibe of the room that he's in on the back cover, though.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
He's been to the east. His name's Kashif. Yeah. Produced by Kashif. Written, arranged, and performed by Kashif. Recorded and mixed by Daryl Gustamancio.
Is that an ad lib or is that
No,
actually?
that's what it says. It's just hilarious. Oh, and then this is just a group of them. The just
Okay.
insanely ugly
Yeah,
spectrum
just
going on here.
Everybody.
The girl is pretty for a dude. Star Point. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's.
Oh, we pulled this one the other day. The dude with the hat, the plain hat on the left. I think we pulled this one, or maybe there's
Yeah,
multiple.
no, we pull. These have been the exact same ones.
Okay,
we pulled.
alright,
Yeah.
alright. Yeah.
I wanted a string of unattractive men, and I don't know how we hit this vein of
You
gold.
could have pulled from anywhere.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh my gosh, this guy in the middle looks like he's. I wish he had eyebrows. That's my biggest thing. It's like if he had eyebrows, it'd help a lot. He looks like Wallace and Gromit.
I think the last time you pulled this, you described his face as looking like it's melting.
It's melting. It's like bad claymation. It's Coraline. It terrifies me.
Man. They didn't even do a wardrobe change for the front and back cover.
That was one day. That was a 15-minute photo shoot.
Yeah.
Oh
No
my God,
budget.
you're right. Oh, it's the whole row.
Doesn't matter. Look at that. Atlantic Star, 2 R's.
Yeah. Again, real pretty lady.
I might have to edit that one.
That's funny.
Yeah, she's a pretty lady. Oh, the ladies have pretty much been pretty.
Yeah, the ladies don't miss.
Yeah.
Apparently, we've always had high standards for women in this country. If you want to be on the album, we'll put your sister on the album. You can sing. How's that? Oh.
Oh.
Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
You know, I hear so many good things. I don't think I've ever intentionally put him on.
Yeah, he gets a pass because he's Luther Vandross.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he does fit the pattern.
Yeah, I mean, he's a 5.
I will say. And this tie is wild.
It is wild. And then what is the choice? The pulling it apart to show off the tie?
I don't know.
It's not like most of them, their chest is open,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
pulling his jacket apart to show you the ugliest tie you've ever seen in your life. And he's looking at you like, yeah, baby.
Yeah. You like this tie, baby? You know how much this tie was? They didn't even tell me. I just said, let me get that.
Did I mention I was Luther Vandross?
And then this side, there's like a playfulness to his that the other ones don't have. The other ones are oddly serious.
Yeah.
For how unfuckable they are.
Yeah.
And
Luther knows how fuckable he is.
yeah, so he's like,
you know,
I'll be silly. I'll win more ladies if I'm silly right now. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Again, no jokes. Perfect.
Is this Teddy?
Teddy,
Yeah.
bro. Is this Teddy?
yeah. Yeah, I saw it from behind. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Look at Teddy. Now Teddy, he's a little different story.
He's got some sex appeal on him.
Yeah, he's attractive.
Yeah. Yeah, he's more attractive than the lady on this one.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a first.
This is the first shocking upset in the back half of this record stack. This is fun too. I love this style where they do like oil paint. Oh, on the back though, there they are.
Yeah,
Fives.
They put a bunch of fives on the back. Tiny little picture on the back. They put a sexy lady on the front.
We got a 20 out of 40 on the back. We got 4 5s. Love the world. 4 5s. Ew, the oil painting. Yeah, these have. Okay, this
record's
is
awesome.
lovely.
Yeah, that record's really good. It's Stevie Wonder's original Musicarium.
I'll tell you, I don't care for a musicarium.
Why's that?
I mean, that's some. Only a blind guy would be like a musicarium. You've never been to an aquarium, bitch. Shut the fuck. You don't know shit about our aquariums. Stop trying to mix this with your fucking special interests, Stevie. We love aquariums, and this is nothing like that.
Oh my god, dude. This might have been better than the first one.
Dude, I love the first one.
That's great.
It was so special to me. I've been telling everybody about it. Well, you wouldn't believe how fun this was. He's gonna put it on the Patreon. It's gonna be on the Patreon.
It's on the Patreon. It's on the Patreon. You guys are on the Patreon. It's $2.
Yeah.
Or you can just buy it for $5.
Then you get to have it.
And you get to have it.
I don't know how Patreon
Or,
works.
I
You
don't
get
know.
to have it. Okay.
Yeah, you get to watch it at least.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. I know nonsense. We're coming. It's time to eat. I know. I gotta finish up with Uncle Preston. Give me just a second.
Incredible underbite.
She's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, she's been really patient. It's an hour past. So here's the thing about her, how ridiculously smart she is.
Yeah.
Her
She
mom.
reads the clock.
Yeah. She might. Her mom works at night.
Mhm.
So she's used to eating at like 11 or 12 at night when she's with her mom.
But she
When
knows
she's with
when
me,
it's here. Yeah,
she
yeah.
knows it's 6:30 and she knows that I'm late, and that's what that bark was about.
Oh, look at the little face.
Yeah. She's looking at you like, don't
Don't
prolong this
This
shit.
isn't cute. This is serious. All right. Yeah. All right. Go feature
Dude,
angels.
This has been the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, buddy. This
This
is
is
great.
so great.
I love this shit.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks for having me, buddy. Your records are so funny. They're so funny. I can't believe how funny that is.
Preston Canavan, y'all. Thank you so much, Preston. Thank all of you for listening. Follow Preston on social media. He's at Preston Canavan on Instagram. And there you can keep up with his tour dates and hijinks, of which there are many of both. MarinadePodcast.com for all things The Marinade. Follow us on all the socials, subscribe, and give us a 5-star rating on your podcast app. Tell a friend about the show. These are all free ways to support The Marinade. Go do that right now while you're listening, please. It makes a big difference for us and costs so little of your time and energy. Also, please follow Life's Greatest Hits on all the socials, especially Instagram, so you can get updates about my other podcast with my dear friend Jordan Foley. We have a newish episode featuring Medium Raw by Earle James, and we've got more on the way. We're 9, almost 10 episodes deep, and have recently made a slight shift in format. We listen to a record together and then sit down and record our impressions. It's a lot of fun. There's something special about sitting down with one of your best friends and intentionally listening to a record. The feedback's been awesome. I'm so grateful. Make sure you subscribe on your podcast app so you don't miss a thing. That's Life's Greatest Hits. If you really like what we're doing with this Marinade thing, please consider joining our Patreon. Just $2 a month, y'all. You can gain access to Patreon exclusive content, like my conversation with Preston, the first one. It's really a special conversation. I love this one too. We really caught lightning in the bottle the first time. Just check it out. It's amazing. I also have my show Jason's Journey, where I talk about the moments that shape my creative life and provide a window into the process of making the Marinade. I am really trying to make this my full-time job. I love teaching. I'm really grateful that I have the income that I have from teaching and the fulfilling career that I have. But I'm also making moves to eventually phase my way out of education and become a full-time creative. So if you've ever been curious about Patreon and what we do over there, it's a cool community. Now would be a great time to dip your toe in and see if the water is to your liking. You can try a free trial of Patreon. No pressure, but at least try the trial, right? So you can see the video and it doesn't cost you anything. Try it for 7 days. Set a reminder on your phone in case you want to cancel. Keep going if you dig it. If you want to support the show financially, but you don't want to commit to a monthly subscription, I totally get that. You can Venmo or PayPal us. It's just at The Marinade. I am leaving today to cover Bonnaroo for the 3rd year in a row. What I call my Grounded Summer Tour, 3rd annual Grounded Summer Tour, where I get back to Appalachia, where I'm originally from. And I'm trying to do some other cool stuff. Life's Greatest Hits is looking to go on the road and tour some record stores. All of these experiences only happen because of the generosity of our listeners. But above all, I'm just so grateful that you listen and spread the word about the Marinade, y'all. Check out Preston on Instagram. Check out the Marinade on all the socials as well. And until next time, go out and create something. Cheers, y'all.